Hello people of the internet, this is Kaiju Noir here with another review. Today we're taking a look at Daikaiju Eiga G, a low-budget 48-minute film that was 9 years in the making. When it came to researching for this movie, I couldn't find anything beyond a couple blog posts, which is where I first learned about the film. By the time I saw the trailer and a few clips on YouTube, I knew I had to watch it. Now after doing so, I'd have to say it's probably one of the most action-packed giant monster movies I've seen since Godzilla Final Wars. Now, because the movie itself didn't have subtitles, I had to refer to several plot synopses from those same blogs. Using that, I was surprisingly able to follow the story. The movie begins in a nondescript war where two soldiers, Goda and Garaimon, are carrying another soldier who was shot in the stomach. The two were forced to leave their wounded comrade behind, which led to his capture and death. Cut to several years later, and we find the two soldiers attempting to prevent loss of life on the battlefield, with Goda creating a giant robot nicknamed Robo, and Garaimon creating what is essentially the super soldier serum from the Captain America comics. But when terrorists arrive at Garaimon's lab in an attempt to steal the formula, he injects himself with an unstable prototype of the serum out of desperation, which mutates him into G, a monster filled with blind rage and city-destroying fury. When the Japanese self-defense force failed to bring him down, it is up to Goda to pilot Robo in order to put his friend out of his misery. Throughout the film, our main hero also has to learn to put the past behind him, as he still feels guilty for leaving his friend behind in the war. I feel that the actor portraying this character was able to convey the inner turmoil that was plaguing him, as he desperately wants to find peace within for the sake of both himself and the world. While watching this movie, I couldn't help but draw comparisons between this and Negadon, as they are both films that have giant monsters and protagonists that pilot giant mechs while dealing with dark pasts. However, while Negadon was an homage to 50s and 60s Japanese monster movies, G feels like a modern-day action film. Also unlike Negadon, G had bits of humor during action sequences, such as when G used a train as a pair of nunchucks, and the interactions between a loud army personnel and his shy assistant. Despite similarities, I don't think one film ripped off the other, especially when G was in production long before Negadon was, and wasn't released until after that movie. Going into this, I wasn't sure what to expect from a low-budget film that took 9 years to make, but when I watched it, it's easy to see where the budget and effort was spent on. Now I must point out that the cinematography is very amateurish, since it seems like no professional equipment was used to record this film. Both the video and the audio are lacking, and have a very shot-on-video quality during the first half of the film, especially during dark scenes. However, by the second half, I was both surprised and impressed by the special effects and the non-stop action. The filmmakers used a combination of models, green screen, suits, and CGI that all blend together almost seamlessly and improve over the course of the film. Even the cinematography improves over time. G has an interesting design with its veiny, leaf-shaped armored plating, hunched posture, and single red eye. This eye can project a crimson energy beam when he is frightened or aggravated, which correlates very well with his erratic and berserk personality. I like how his suit retains bloody battle damage throughout the film, which is something that is rarely seen in monster movies. Robo has a simplistic design that harkens back to super robots such as Tetsujin, Red Baron, and Giant Robo. When I first saw this design, I wasn't sure how it can fight with its long, lanky arms. Turns out, however, that this mech is quite the fighter, as the exciting battle between it and G just gets more and more crazy as it progresses. This movie is such a roller coaster of a film that I can forgive its lackluster cinematography, as the adrenaline-fueled action sequences and the human drama surrounding it definitely makes up for this factor. The only thing that can bring this down for most English-speaking audiences is the fact that there are no versions of this movie out there with subtitles. However, this movie is easy to understand, as you can tell what's going on by the film's visuals and the characters' actions and emotions, which leads me to give Daikaiju Eiga G a 4 out of 5. Just like with Raigo, you can find out where to find this film by checking out the link from the previous review. Until next time everybody, take care.